What's going on, people? Myke C-Town here with another Hip Hop Solo album review, and today I'm talking about the new mixtape from Lushlife entitled My Idols Are Dead and My Enemies Are in Power. I've been a huge fan of Lushlife for a long time now. His album Plateau Vision was one of the first reviews I ever wrote for the Dead and Hip Hop website. This was back in 2012, and he didn't put out any full projects for a full 4 years after that, and then he dropped Ritualized last year, a project that I really enjoyed, but I just never got around to reviewing. I know I totally dropped the ball on that, but right after that we got 2 more projects by Lushlife, the No Dead Languages EP, and then this. The funny thing is I almost dropped the ball on this one too, but I'll tell you really quickly what reminded me that I needed to talk about this album. I went to the Atmosphere and Brother Ali show last weekend. Me and some friends ended up backstage and got into a long conversation with Slug and Ali. And Ali asked me what I was listening to now, and the first thing I thought to tell him that he needed to go check out was 1, the new Childish Gambino album, which he hadn't heard yet, and 2, this new Lushlife mixtape. 2 things that I had a really strong feeling that he'd be really into. And the whole idea behind this mixtape is Lushlife grabbed a really diverse group of rappers, poets, writers, activists, and put together this sort of protest album discussing the state of America now, as well as some of the events and feelings that led up to where we are now. And the mixtape definitely does not mince words. You can tell pretty immediately what it's calling for. It's clearly a direct response to the Trump election. It's a very direct and in-your-face project. Lushlife is not someone who immediately comes to mind when I think of political rappers, but after listening to this, I think that could very well change. Not only does he sound very informed, he sounds passionate, he sounds angry, and he sounds like someone who understands how the system works and how to rally people behind him as a way of dismantling it. Along with a really diverse list of features, it also features a lot of varied production, from the more solemn beats that I'm more used to with the Lushlife album to more loud and aggressive beats that actually surprised me on this project. The first song, Ooh, which I can't do it, and you guys know what that's from. That song was incredibly dope, but it was actually the second song, a remix of No Dead Languages, which was off his last EP of the same name, that really jumped out at me. And it's really because that song was previously an instrumental, and now he has vocals over it. The song contains this really weird part in the middle of it, this chaotic, almost free jazz style beat, and the way he worked this hook over it, it sounds glorious. And the last verse that Lushlife does, so what if Trump spits the ultra-right rhetoric and in the next moment is talking about your betterment? It's irrelevant, or if he paying his taxes, ultralight beams and memes undermine the facts, and all your Facebook and Twitter outrage no longer has a possibility to bring about change, is just to maintain. The remix for the Ecstatic Cult was really cool. This is a song off Ritualized, and it has the same Killer Myke verse, but now it has a new Lushlife verse as well as a verse from Kool AD. And it's a song about the prison industrial complex, and Lushlife starts off with some great lines. And what's the difference if Nixon evolved to Bill Clinton and mandatory minimum sentences is making millions? And it also has a surprisingly aggressive verse from Kool AD. Hey yo, fuck that, whatever you talking about, fuck that, it's a war outside and it always was that. And if it's time, then it's time, nigga, fuck rap. Definitely some shit I would not expect to hear from Kool AD, especially the way he's saying it. But if you heard Ritualized, you heard the Killer Myke verse already, but I thought it was dope the way the beat changed when he came on, letting you know that you were in for something nice. This rolls into what might be my favorite song on this project, and that is The Heart is an Atomic Bomb. And first off, amazing song title. Let's start off talking about this beat, man. The beat is incredible. Definite head knocker. It has some really clean drums, a really dope vocal sample that adds this kind of world feeling to the song, and Lushlife has a great verse, one that starts this kind of call to arms feeling of this track. Develop a new idea, defend the revolution, atomic bomb in your heart, and in that's an institution. Then it has this amazing piece in the middle by Porachista Kakpour, who I hope I'm not butchering her name, because I've never heard of her before this album, but she's an Iranian-American writer who does a sort of spoken word piece about Nusha Farahi, who set himself on fire to protest what he called the barbaric regime of Ayatollah Khomeini, as well as American imperialism. And it's just really powerful on its own as she reads some of the words that Farahi left behind as to why he chose to protest in this manner. And she ends her piece with these final words from Farahi where he says, "I do not wish to die. I love life, but apparently in order to preserve the very same life, the only alternative left is dying." And then she says, "He was 31. We need the same fire, but we need to live because of it." That shit absolutely gives you goosebumps. And that's when you notice that you still have a Billy Woods verse left. And Billy Woods is someone who never lets you down. His verses are always filmed with complex themes and ideas, verses that are so vivid that the words just jump out at you. And this verse, where he spits from the perspective of a mass shooter, is just insane. And I assume the purpose is to drive in the idea of why and how radicalization and violent extremism can happen. But Billy Woods says, "The AR in the trunk of the car, police clapping anything black, fuck being unarmed, knock the soup out his thermos, this sub-right, subversive, cursive, Elijah Muhammad shots through your granny's curtains." Another standout track was "I've Seen It Before, I Was There" with More Mother and Botany. And this beat is really dense, really layered, and it's perfect for a More Mother feature. She says, "Woo-ha, yeah, we ain't in check. War going on and it's around your neck. I put feelings aside, I know who I am the light. My last form's still shining." I thought the track 11 Theses was a really powerful track. It features someone named Jedediah Purdy, who I've never heard of before either, but he's a writer and a professor at Duke University, and it's his voice reading over his 11 Theses over a really cool ambient backdrop, which kind of morphs into a more upbeat but still kind of atmospheric hip-hop beat. Really, really dope. The whole song is just amazing, but it's his Theses 6 through 11 that I thought were really, really interesting. So I'm going to read those to you really quickly. Thesis 6, democracy is more than voting. Ultimately, it's about organized people deciding how their lives should be organized. Thesis 7, not everything has to be earned. We should care more about what everyone gets as the groundwork of social life and what the big patterns of distribution are than whether people have deserved what they get. Fucking amazing. Thesis 8, equal treatment is not enough. We need to go deeper to unsettle and change inherited patterns of inequality and injustice. Fucking amazing, guys. One of the greatest things about this album is it wasn't expected for me. It wasn't something that I expected to get from Lushlife at all, let alone so quickly after his last project. Another great thing about this album is it doesn't sound like a protest album, but it feels like a protest album, which I think is really important. Because a lot of people can put together an album that sounds angry and antagonistic and gets you hyped for an hour, but then it dies. But it takes a special someone who can put those feelings inside of you kind of organically. You know, you kind of absorb it rather than simply hearing it. Another great thing about this album is Lushlife is putting his money where his mouth is. All proceeds from this album go to benefit the ACLU, which I think is really, really dope. So guys, it's money well spent. There's also a really cool website that he put together, which I'll put in the description section down there, and it gives more details on this project as well as lyrics to read along as you listen, which I think is a very smart thing to do because there's a lot of gems that are in this album. But I'm gonna leave you with this last line by Lushlife, which I think sums up the theme of this project. In reality, reality is just something to play with. The Mexicans, the metaphors, the UFOs, the slave ships. A spaceship is a drone or with a facelift, and if you facing the facts, black facts are faceless. Really think about those lines, man. I think they're phenomenal. But yes, I love this project start to finish. I think it was really well put together and a great idea by Lushlife. Something that I don't think many artists could really do as effectually as he just did. So guys, go check that out. Make sure you leave some comments down there. Let me know what you guys thought. And as usual, thank you for living, thank you for loving, thank you for being you. Please don't die, and I'll see you guys next time. All right? Peace, bitches.